All right, this is not my usual streaming time. I'm aware of that, but I want to make sure we get some things talked about. And I just couldn't see the need to wait forever or wait until later today. So I do not like drama. I don't like to go back and forth with other people on this website about really anything at all. And while I am a person who's done videos about other commentators, I think they're different from the type of things that have been levied toward me because since most of the people I cover are people I actually like, um, again, referring to commentators, usually it's done in a respectful manner of disagreeing. And the buffoonery that I was subjected to a couple of weeks ago. But let's begin with some preamble. The basic way this story was conducted was that I was just a person making YouTube videos like anybody else. But then some guy came on my stream demanding I talk about something else. In the latter part of last month, I had a user who came on my stream and said, get back to blank topics, this other topic. And I was pretty offended by this because the way that that was worded sounded to me as if it was someone trying to tell me what to do. It wasn't like, hey, I would prefer if you discuss this more, whatever. It was someone who came on a stream and said, get back to talking about this like they're my boss or something. Um, so I told this user I would not be controlled. And I also stated that until they apologized, I was going to keep mentioning it as a reminder of the fact that they had done this really aggressive and, in my opinion, just strangely assertive thing. But when this happened, um, about 6 days later, the user wrote during one of my streams that I was one of their favorite YouTubers. I guess it's some little attempt to butter me up or whatever. Um, so then about maybe less than 2 weeks later, a little bit over a week later, this person makes a video about me. And when I'm briefed of this by a sub of mine, because I try to stay off of these people's channels. I'm not interested for the most part. But I basically just contemplate seeing it or not seeing it. And I eventually decide to see it. Before I see it, I read the comments, which are a comedy show in and of themselves. Um, it's very disturbing when you try to appeal to people and talk about things in a civilized manner, and there's this weird regurgitation of the same old tropes. So we're going to play a game. I've got the video, and we're going to have a count of how many lies this person tells this time and how many times they cross the line. They say things that are just ridiculous and um, of a certain below the belt status. And again, I'm not a drama person, so I'm not going to say their name. Um, you might notice some alterations to the way they sound because again, I'm not seeking to cause an issue with this person. I'm just very disturbed that I could go from someone's quote unquote favorite YouTuber or one of their favorite YouTubers to what I am described as in the midst of this video. And I think that's pretty much it for our preamble. I really wish people would act a little bit more civilized. You'll see what I'm talking about as we start playing this.
I want to talk concerning this one YouTuber named Justin Dessinger, or whatever this dude's last name. This dude is a prime example of what I mean when I say people developing character flaws.
So I talked about this a little bit on Thursday, but I would think every person has character flaws. Like that there's no perfect person who's just they have no issues whatsoever. Again, that's just my thought. That's why that's a really weird phrase to attach to me as a critique. Oh, you're imperfect. But let's go further into this.
Flaws. They mesh to the personality to where it becomes taxing to be around them. I would say this dude is akin to me. I think he's one of these black incels, even though he doesn't like that term. But if you check this dude's videos, you can.
It's not that I don't like that term. I'm not that term. It is a subculture of men that talk to each other on forums and other websites. I don't interact with these people at all. I just put up some videos, and the closest interaction I get with other men who've had problems with chicks is my chat. But what's that? How's that one song go? With the beat with the four turtles. And as much as we may dream, Justin just won't join our romance team. Let's play a little bit more of that.
Like that term, but if you check this dude's videos, you can clearly see he lives that sort of leper lifestyle.
So how would someone who's never met me know what lifestyle I live? How would someone I've never seen before? Like I don't understand how he's an expert on the lifestyle or even qualified to speak on that. You know, when I was talking to the lady lacking logic, uh, oh no, Dio, it's spelled. It's supposed to be pronounced Mao because that's how he pronounces it. But how would someone who's never met me before know my lifestyle? And listen, I'm gonna give him a little bit of an outing here with Triple L because she played the same game where after she was done being cool with me, she decided to claim I was part of that group. Uh, she at the very least knew to base that claim on the things I was saying versus a perceived way of living because she doesn't know how I live. All right, let's continue.
So, just to give you a rough idea, you need to check out this dude's channel, and feel free to check out this guy's channel. You know what I'm saying? But this dude, well, I'm gonna show you the video. Now, I made a passing comment to where this dude went the extra mile.
That's me going the extra mile.
This dude, he started accusing me of some stuff I didn't do. And I think he was repeating the stuff to his brain to the point to where he heard my voice even though I wasn't around.
That's, again, him doing more of his thing where he doesn't actually know what he's talking about. How would he know what's being repeated in my brain? Unless he's me or he has telepathy like Professor X or Jean Grey or Emma Frost. Dio, in your brain, it's being repeated to you right now to hit the like button. How would I know that? Unless I'm Dio. Or I'm telepathic. Oh, that's two lies in what, less than a minute of dialogue, 2 minutes of dialogue. The hits keep coming.
I'm serious. It's to that degree, dude, you need to see this stuff to believe it.
Did you just hear what he said? Dude, you need to see this stuff to believe. Who is he talking to? Think about that. He goes from saying, I'm hearing someone in my head, to making it sound as if someone that's, I guess, not there is there. Oh, well, that's gross.
Because whenever I would show up, it's like he would just dial back to that sort of obsessive mentality, to where he just wanted an apology from me, or he didn't want me around to some degree, which is fine when it comes to me because I'm like, look, dude.
It's fine to me that you don't want me around as I make a video after feeling like you don't want me around. I've seen a lot of people who have been disgruntled from being on someone's channel. They just leave. There was actually the Thursday, and I'm glad I waited to cover this. I'm glad I didn't just make this the day after. But the Thursday of the week before last, there was a guy who I was showing up on his streams He does about 3, 4 of them each week. I showed up on almost all of them, and he was playing fighters. And you know how the phenomenon where when someone starts losing the game, people are being cheap, and the game is helping them out and all that stuff. So he screams at me in the chat as I'm saying, as I type, "Are you okay?" And literally, I had he not apologized later in that same stream, I would have just left. But guess what? When I left in this hypothetical, there would have been no video made by me. The worst he would have got is maybe being mentioned, not by name, by the way. So it's completely different. Where it's people going, "Hey, remember that one bad experience I had with that one streamer?" And that would have been it. You wouldn't see me sitting there for 20 minutes talking about that person who. Oh, by the way, in the comment section of this video, I am stated to not be relevant enough to keep discussing. So I was relevant enough for one video, but not, I guess, multiple. And I love how the person who's saying I'm irrelevant is the one that made the video on me. Like, how backwards is that?
Like, it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really ain't that deep. But
it's not that deep as I make a video discussing it.
I'm happy. I'm happy I can show this stuff because I'm trying to give a perfect example when it comes to a character flaw that dudes, namely incels, develop. Because this sort of stuff would be checked by the general public if normally you were out and about. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like when your hygiene slips or your weight slips. Whenever something is off when it comes to you, the masses will bring that to your attention if you walk among other individuals enough. But when you live to an echo chamber, this sort of stuff becomes normal.
So listen to how crazy that was. The masses will call you out for instances such as if your weight slips or if your hygiene is up. Do you really believe somebody just randomly goes up to a person and go, "Hey, you're fat"? And how does he, this is again his thing of not knowing a person, but then trying to pretend that he does. He claims that I'm in the echo chamber of YouTube or my channel, whatever, so that's why I get away with this supposed behavior. But how does he know who I'm around for the majority of the day? That is crazy. Anyways, after this, he plays different clips of me to where I got confused. I thought this was a critique, not a highlight reel. By the way, in this 20+ minute video, he only speaks for 8 minutes. And if I'm remembering correctly, I could have sworn the YouTube copyright statute or rules states that you're supposed to play your own material for 60% at least. So because I'm not evil, I wouldn't, copyright strike him, but this is apparently a violation of the copyright system on here.
And this is the ultimate irony. I pointed out to this dude that he should set up a super chat for his channel so he could receive money. I need to find those videos where I kept pushing him to do a super chat. I said, "Look, dude, I'll contribute to your channel." Really, my goal was for him to set up a super chat so that he could receive money. He was saying some stuff like, "Well, you can go to Patreon or you can go to such and so external website." I'm like, "Look, dude, YouTube is more fluid. You need to make this stuff easily accessible to those who want to contribute." This is the ultimate irony from the dude who said, he doesn't want to be controlled. You see, this is the sort of shit I do. This is the sort of stuff I do. I'm the one who brought that to his attention that he should do that, who kept pushing him to do that, who said, "If you do that, I'll give you money so that your channel can be monetized."
You don't need a super chat to be monetized. I've been monetized for at least, I'd say at least since 2017. I had ads playing on my stuff, so you don't need a super chat to have that feature. And also, remember, he accused me earlier of dialing back to, and I want you to understand, there was a less than 2-week gap between when he made this messed up or this comment I didn't like and these supposed streams where I mentioned him repeatedly doing this or him doing this repeatedly. And then what in the black piss? I don't know who, whatever. Anyways, the person who accuses me of dialing back by mentioning something that at the time this video was put up was less than 2 weeks ago is the same person who is dialing back to something from at the very least 6 months ago. The irony is just off the charts. It's over 9,000.
And for a couple weeks, I was just dropping random money amounts. Why? Because I wanted to create an avenue to where he could actually receive some sort of currency for his channel.
But I already was. You might want to go see a doctor. Well, I don't know who you're talking to. But I already was receiving currency before. Like, look, I'll admit ads don't do pay as much as the super chats do, but it still was something. He's trying to sound like he was the architect of me getting paid on this stupid website. It's like I was the one who pushed him to press the button to turn on the super chats.
Immaterial. Now you tell me who should be fucking offended.
Ooh.
I just want to point this out.
And what does
this dude's channel?
I cut out all the little pieces of him replaying my stuff. What does him pointing that out have to do with me being obsessive and dialing back to a random comment he made? Like, you see how they're not connected? That's him just projecting. You're gonna accuse me of dialing back by mentioning something that at the time was only 2 weeks old, but then it's just something that was from last year.
Channel because he's doing a live stream, and just to show you this dude, it's really something up when it comes to him. He's just massively defensive and goes the extra mile. Because I don't plan to go back to this dude's.
Going the extra mile. Oh, let's hear this. Let's hear this.
Go back to this dude's channel. You know what I'm saying? This dude goes the extra mile. Because I don't plan to go back to this dude's channel.
He says he doesn't plan to go back to this dude's channel. I hope he means that. I really hope he means that.
This channel. You know what I'm saying? This dude, let me tell you something. When somebody tells you or shows you who they are, believe them. There's something up when it comes to this guy. I don't say that lightly or to mock this dude, but he deals with some stuff that I'm not trying to be around.
This was a person, by the way, who was on my channel since early last year. So for a year, he was on the channel of a person he's now saying does stuff that deals with stuff I'm not trying to be around. It's like, what? If you were on this channel for a year, but you weren't trying to be around me. Apparently, he already showed up with that whoever that is.
I don't care for guys who are so, or I can't stand a guy that imitates a female trait.
There we go. That's the one defense line these people always have. God. So understand this, because I did something he doesn't like, which is hold him to his word. That messed up comment I didn't like. I am now exhibiting a female trait. I wasn't exhibiting one in the 12 plus months of him being on the channel before, but because I held him to this specific thing he said, I'm exhibiting a feminine trait. I've shown my true colors. And they're pink and purple.
Now I'm saying you're supposed to be straight, but you're dealing like you're gay. And when I say
yes, I'm now homosexual because I said something he didn't like.
I say gay, I'm talking about from the standpoint of a feminine. Look, this boils down to what's up when it comes to you. I don't care for that sort of blurring of lines. You know what I'm saying? If you're one way, you're one way. If you're the other way, you're the other way. But you jumping back and forth when it comes to that sort of sentiment, dude, that's psychological stuff when it comes to you. That's like being around somebody that's bipolar.
Think of how insane that comment was. He mentions earlier, I dialed back to this thing he said that I didn't like, which I would think is me being consistent if when you show up, I mention the same thing repeatedly. But then I'm also bipolar. So I'm bipolar, which means to have multiple, I mean, people know what that means, while being consistent. Oh my God, what the hell is this video? Oh, this should be on Comedy Central. Well, Rev, everyone has character flaws because nobody is perfect. But when you're a man dealing with the romance crew coming through doing anything, messing me up so much I gotta sing, suddenly you having imperfections is now this fatal flaw that these people feel the need to only pick on you over.
But I'm gonna go to this guy's channel, and as soon as I show up, I'm gonna say Gatorade and watch and understand the reason why I'm going to this guy's channel to do that, because I'm trying to show you that there's really something up when it comes to this dude. Don't think for 1 second he understands that reference. Do you think for 1 second?
Yeah, that's the next clip, but I want you to think about this. He goes on a random, I don't remember what the stream's topic was. I know it wasn't Gatorade. I've never made a single stream about Gatorade. You go on a stream and you randomly mention some drink that has nothing to do with what's being discussed. But there's something wrong with me for not getting why you would do that. Rev, imagine if you were streaming about flowers and rainbows and I come in there talking about Metal Gear. It's like, what? Or if Dio was streaming about fighters and I start talking about flowers and unicorns. Like it's not connected. It's literally someone showing up to write random crap. And he admits that in this clip, but he finds a way to, in his mind, explain it as though it makes sense. That he would go on a stream that has nothing to do with Gatorade or drinks or whatever the hell and mention that there. Yeah, James, we're playing it. It's like, to hell with Masterpiece Theater.
Do you think for 1 second I'm going to say sorry to this dude? Or better yet, would you say sorry? I mean, let's just look at the bigger picture because I like to speak to the point. Would you say sorry to this sort of behavior? Because I'm trying to talk to the subject. The reason why I didn't say sorry, which is so weird for this kind of sentiment to come from a grown-ass man.
How is it weird to apologize for something? I've apologized in the past as an adult. You're in the wrong. There's no shame in admitting it. I don't really get where it's somehow a kid thing to have enough self-reflection to admit when you are incorrect about something. So I said these people find ways to spin around doing things that a lot of people do that no one considers strange or off-putting.
The reason why I didn't say sorry is because I'm not guilty of what he's accusing me of doing. What did I do that warranted that long drag out? I mean, this was from live stream to live stream. Whenever I would show up, he would try to make it abundantly clear that he didn't like the fact that I was around.
Yeah, because you came on my stream about a certain topic and demanded, you said, get back to this. After I had literally done a video about that topic, not even 48 hours earlier. And look, I don't clickbait. So when I have a stream with a certain title, I generally stick to the title. Oh, James, I'm not. Look, he'll put my name in his title, but I won't do the same. Besides, apparently he already commented earlier. We don't give you promotions for putting out ridiculous videos on here.
And I understand I'm the dude that, from a standpoint of a super chat, got him off the ground. I'm like, look, dude, I'm not here to sustain your platform when it comes to you.
He's the super chat architect. He showed me how to do it. Before him, I didn't know what a super chat was, but then he swooped in and saved me. He owns me. So you know what this means, that I now must be subservient to him because he suggested me getting a super chat. That means that I can't criticize him for doing anything ever. He can say whatever he'd like to me. I don't remember ever having a sub come on one of my streams and say get back to another. Like, I don't remember anyone else doing that, but apparently I forgot this is the super chat architect, and he's able to talk to me any kind of way he wants because he suggested this.
You pulling some money, but now I'm saying I did point out the obvious. I said, look, do a super chat. If you do material and you know how to talk to the audience and work the audience from the standpoint of your own personal platform and venue, and they like your material, they'll contribute to you. He was pointing me off to some Patreon stuff, and he wanted people to go to an external website just so he could receive more, which is okay. But
yeah, that's not weird. Literally, there have been multiple people who've offered explanations as to why they prefer Patreon over Super Chats, including the fact that it's a much more stable way of showing support for a content creator. So I wouldn't be the first, and certainly won't be the last, who prefers Patreon over, that little button that YouTube gets a big cut out of it. Oh, Slum Digger, we're talking about, well, we're playing the director's cut of that slanderous video that was made about me.
Okay, but I'm saying, dude, people aren't trying to do that. I mean, what would you rather use? Paper money or a credit card? You need to make things easier so that they can give to you. You see, that's what I did when I showed up. When I showed up, you know what I'm saying, I was laying out options because that's how I normally think. And there's moments like this to make you wonder why I even think that way. Because to me, this is offensive. But for me to say sorry to this sort of stuff would be for me to normalize his behavior, his response. It would be for me to give the idea that what he's doing here is normal. It's not normal. It's a product of an idle man. It's a product of somebody who projects.
But how does he know what kind of man I am if he's never met me? Idle.
There's sort of personality quirks, like their character flaws.
And also, just to point out, I'm the first person who ever had character flaws. No other person ever had any kind of imperfections. I was the first one. I originated the concept of not having every single thing desirable.
I'm supposed to feel sorry for how you feel. Look, if what you feel doesn't line up with reality, then, you know what I'm saying, that's your bag of bricks to carry. I'm not going to sit around and say sorry for some shit you repeat to your man.
But how would he know what I repeat to my mind? Well, Slum Digger, things go left on a lot of streams and people just leave. They don't make 20+ minute videos trying to make the person that they were on the channel of for a year out to be some malicious character who is feminine and also possibly bipolar. And did you read his comment section? Did you read that nonsense where him and some other individual were talking about? He's a coper. He's using politics to cope with not getting a vagina. It's like, you idiots, I went to school for that. You really think I sat in school for years and I was like, I can't wait to get this political science degree because then I'll suddenly no longer think about chicks. Who would write something like that? Look, Slum Digger, if you want to hang out on his channel, you have every right to. I don't play the sub versus sub game. But I'm not about to sit here and try to empathize with someone like that. I wasn't shown any empathy when I had this person who's never met me say that he knows the lifestyle I live. And then after I've said on stream after stream that he claims he attended, I'm not part of this stupid, let me do the song again. And as much as these men may dream, Justin's not part of their romance team. I said repeatedly, I'm not on any of these groups or crews. But then what does he do once he gets mad? Yeah, he says he's not part of the group, but he's really a part of it. Oh, that's what he said too. You're one of my favorite YouTube. Listen. He hasn't been blocked, so you can go look at the stuff on the different stream. I have the screenshots where less than 2 weeks before this stupid video was made, he said, "You're one of my favorite YouTubers." What kind of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde crap are you on when you go from saying that to, well, you have exhibited feminine qualities? Like, what's wrong with you? Megumi says, damn, this clown sounds more like a bigger clown every time I hear what they say and his unrealistic, contradicting point. Well, I already went through each one and how, I'm tired of him repeatedly and consistently stating that he is thinking I was trying to control him. But he's also bipolar. You're one of my favorite YouTubers, but you also exhibit feminine qualities. And I'm trying to avoid you as I stay on your channel for over a year. Listen, this was just a half-baked, dumb attempt to get drama. That's all it was. Because 2 weeks after I said this, I did this thing that bothered him so much by asking if he could just apologize for making this demand on my stream. He makes a video. But that's not a coincidence. That's not an attempt to stir up some drama. And then you put my name in it. Remember, he doesn't do what I do, where if I talk about if you'll notice, I've never done a single video on a person that has less than 100,000 subs with their name in it. You know why? Because I don't sit around trying to find ways to come up off of somebody else's name, especially not someone who's barely getting 100 views. Oh, I went and looked at the ratio. It did very well compared to everything else. It's less about clout and just trying to have drama for the sake of it. Yeah, it's like, and I remember I used to really sit here and scratch my head because I was trying to figure out, why do these other channels? Because the guy who you weren't here for this earlier, Megumi, but I mentioned how the Thursday before last Thursday I was on a stream where I got cursed out, and I can play that clip if you don't believe me, by another YouTuber. They got about 3,000 subs. And I was like, why does someone who's not even that big, who literally when I was in the stream had less than 5 people watching, why won't he read every or most of the comments? But now I see why, because every time there's some weird problem with subs, like the ones that show up recurringly, or I guess are supposedly supporting at one point, it's always some stupid stuff on the stream. In October, I had you can ask Ruben, he's not here, but I had a clown who, just by me mentioning that I like President Johnson, wrote not 1, not 2, not 5, not 10, not 15, 17 comments trying to argue with me about a man who's been dead for almost 50 years, a man that he brought up on a stream about Iowa. And then after I wouldn't argue with him, left. And so I can't take you seriously anymore. It's always on the stream that one of these people gets their panties in a bunch and wants to try to have a problem with me. Yes, I also told him I think we should be trying to stick together. No, I saw that black romance group I will not name comment. And again, I had no problem. See, this is what gets on my nerves. This video is framed as me being so ridiculous because I asked for an apology. And this is like so extreme, radical, you know, feminine quality, drivel, whatever. If he had just said sorry, would have never mentioned that he did that ever again. So it's dragged out to ask him for an apology, but it's not dragged out to sit there and grab a bunch of clips of mine and make a video belittling me. Nah, and also Slum Digger, if you read that other comment he wrote about, uh, he's a coper. He's using politics to get out of thinking about women. That's someone who I should try to stick together with. That believes any other thing I talk about is all tied to broads. Agumi says trying to stir up as much drama as possible to probably have some entertainment in his life, maybe. Like I said, this guy was on my channel for a year, and the first thing I do that he doesn't like, less than 3 weeks later, there's a video. Yeah. And then you're going to come on one of my streams, type in Gatorade, and then I'm weird for not getting why you would randomly post about a drink that has nothing to do with the topic of the stream. Megumi, I'm going to go on your stream about, I don't know, Play-Doh and talk about pepperoni pizza. Like, it's weird. But it's all, why is that? It's always a stream where people act the craziest. I had a bimbo who got mad. It was 2 years ago. And she left, and I was like, all right, good riddance. Literally 14, 13, over a year later, and I'm like, what are you doing here? Get lost. Well, he got his reaction. I was really amused by it and disturbed by who it was made. I was amused by the video and disturbed by who it was made by. It's kind of like I probably should have put a Joker thumbnail on this. He lived. I know he lives that lifestyle, even though I've never met him. Because the romance stuff should be left in the past. I don't know why we should be harping over it anymore. Well, look, my position is you can still discuss it, just don't make it override your entire life. That's why I do Dragon Ball stuff. That's why I do political stuff most of the time. I got my show. You know, I'm multifaceted. But what I'm saying, James, is that these people actually try to stick it in everything. So if I discuss politics, this is not a good topic for you to use to cope with women. What? You really think I studied this subject for 7 years to get away from a vagina? Really? You stayed on this platform long enough. I guess someone is bound to take a shot. No, Slum Digger. I don't bother people on this website. I don't go on someone's stream and tell them what to do, and then after they ask me for an apology, I go, I don't need to do that, and then make a video putting their name in the title and saying that they're the one being ridiculous. Exactly, James. You know, it's funny. He believes in the like the whole like white supremacy thing. Do you see any videos about David Duke or the Klan? He won't do a video on all these people who are supposedly hurting the U.S. getting less racial, but then when someone says something he doesn't like, oh, here we come. He gets clips of that. He'll make a video on me before he'll make a video on the supposed racist president and vice president. It's not about getting offended. Look, I have people write, and I even showed it in the video, all the different screenshots on Thursday of different ridiculous, and that's not even all, but it's not about getting offended. It's the idea that you would say you don't care enough to make an apology, but you do care enough to make a damn near half-hour video about someone who you claim is not relevant enough. I saw what he wrote to you. I would think, Rev, I'm so irrelevant, but you made a video on me. Yeah, that makes sense. I really don't understand what is wrong of being asked for an apology, especially when they are in the wrong. Like I said, Megumi, if I came on someone's stream and I said, get back to this topic you discussed the day before or yesterday or whatever, and then like they probably would ban me if they're reading the comments. You realize he is the only person that one of my mods has ever banned that I went through my ban list, which has a lot of people on it, to unban. And after doing that in January, this is the thanks I get in July. And that's why I said I hate people on this website. That's because he is fixed on that topic constantly, and he wants others to project their feelings on the topic of it for on their videos for them to watch all the time. Yeah, you can only speak on one thing. Told you, I'm astonished that anyone could sit there and create something like that and then tell you that they don't care. You don't grab clips of 5, 6, 7, 8 different streams and put together a video and don't care. I mean, it just doesn't happen. I really could claim that as copyright because the majority of that video is my clips. That's not how that's supposed to work. You're supposed to have the majority of it be new stuff from you. I think it's like 60% is supposed to be you, and then the other 40 can be the other person or persons. Yes, the video was unnecessary and that about it sucks because after talking to him more, I realized he actually makes good points, is well informed on things. He should have just apologized. Well, listen, this was never about an apology. When you are on YouTube and you are trying to come up or I guess get bigger, you take whatever avenue you can. So you'll take someone asking you, hey, can you do an apology? And them saying, hey, I would like you to do this apology, to then make a whole video about it and then get views off of that because you want drama. If he makes good points, I sure didn't see them in that video. He has character flaws. He's the first person to ever have flaws. Oh, let's not forget the theme song of that group. And as what much as we may dream, Justin just won't join our romance team. They want to recruit me so badly. I remember the scene at the end of what was it, the first Iron Man, where Nick Fury is like, I'm here to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative. You're gonna be sitting there after texting a bunch of broads, and then the person I played the clip of comes in there with a little trench coat and he's like, I'm here to talk to you about the Men Online Talking About Broads Every Single Day initiative. That's what I said. The romance crew coming through doing anything, annoying me so much I gotta sing. Remember, they have a new definition for that word. When I went and looked up what that group was, they said they exhibit self-loathing, which you have never seen me do because I'm not ashamed of myself. Uh, and they're a subculture of men who talk to each other online. I don't talk to any of them outside of maybe if one of them appears on my stream, but now I'm automatically part of their group. I'm not on a single one of those forums, but I'm somehow a member by trade. So if enough people turn you down, you're automatically inducted into this crew. I told you that all this is just a ghetto version of One Piece. Instead of the straw hats, we got the dingbats, the spurned lover crats or whatever they're trying to get you to join. Hey Rev, they're gonna ask me, instead of bounties, they're gonna be like, how many women has he been turned down? It makes him more rare. 300. I gotta get him on my team immediately. Oh, he said he's not part of anyone's team? Well, I mean, he must be part of someone's team because you can't get turned down and be sick of it. You know what this is? This is them trying to make those groups own a monopoly on discussing chicks. Like if I did videos where I went, I'm just a bad person and women don't like me, where I'm gonna kill myself, then they wouldn't try to claim me as part of their group. But because I say, no, this woman is stupid for repeatedly, like whatever, you're critical of what they do instead of yourself. He's on our side. No, he isn't. He's on his side. He's on his team. I'm just automatically inducted into this crew. A part of based on, but that's incorrect. And then it's like even if you try to say you're automatically in there because of the experiences you've had. Do you remember the personality traits they said they exhibited, right? Self-loathing, self-pity? Not at all. I got pity and loathing for, my contemporaries because they do stupid stuff. Like make 20-minute videos on people that a week prior they said were favorite YouTubers. That's my loathing. I look at that video, I'm like, oh, here we go. Please join our team. Please join the romance team. Please stay on the forum and talk about chicks every day, all day. I can only do that maybe once a week and I get sick of it. Please join our group. Please, we need you. Apparently, you'll be affiliated with the group regardless of having different various personality traits. Well, you saw what Triple L did to me when we started speaking about the romance stuff. Are you part of that group? No. And then after she gets pissed and she's on her little online stuff, I spoke to this member of that group for like 9 or 10. I was like, oh, I'm not part of that group. Well, you have similar talking points as their members. Like, oh my God, here we go. Told you, all these people are alike. Once they turn on you or you guys are no longer on good terms, then everything they claim they liked about you is now reversed. So I didn't have any feminine traits before I asked him to apologize. How the world turns. Yeah, they stupid for thinking that you're on their crew. Like you have zero relations with them. Like you aren't even sub or sharing any format to communicate with them. Like God, their logic. They have no logic. I saw a guy yesterday comment on my video talking about you need to have one of the 3 traits to get a woman. You must be tall or handsome, or it was some other things. Like, who determines what handsome is other than the broad? I'm sure there are plenty of guys you think are hideous. They still get with the chick because handsome, like it's too subjective a word. At least with height, I can actually prove that by fact. The average height of a man in the U.S. is 5'9". I'm 6'2". So I mean, it still doesn't matter. But the point is, that's at least something that's based in fact. When you say, someone is tall, it's not just your opinion. It's something you can actually verify based off the average height of people in whatever region you're in. Now they love playing that game. I just can't believe the only person I ever went to that length to get their account unbanned does this. There is no other in the entire history of the channel that I've banned and then unbanned. Well, that has ended up banned because when my mods banned him in January, and I went to the length of unbanning because I could have just left his account banned because he had like 2 or 3 other ones he would comment on. So the only person I ever do that for, who thanked me at the time, now says I'm similar to being bipolar and I have feminine traits and I deal with stuff they don't want to deal with, even though they brought my channel for over. That's why I said no good deed goes unpunished. People turn on you like just snakes. I should have, instead of doing that thing with the voice, I should have played that little sound over there. So someone expressing themselves from personal experience, they're automatically part of group. Yeah. James, if you have a problem with chicks, you better keep that to yourself. Otherwise, you're part of the romance crew. And we will join you. It's just dumb, I agree. We all need to be part of one group. Nobody is allowed to be different. It's not even being different. It's just, if you say you're not part of a team or a group of people, which is what that is, you should be able to not be part of the group. And then you exhibit similar traits. What's a good example? Jocks play football. If I play football after, I don't know, going to the computer lab, I'm suddenly a jock. Like it's stupid. But again, we're not dealing with logic and reality. It's just people, emotions overriding everything. Part of one. Oh, I already read that. Besides, I'm really tired of every time something happens with a sub that shows up recurringly, it's always on a stream. That's why I feel like I should just cancel streams and just go back to doing regular uploads, because this drama doesn't happen on those. It's a way to dismiss points rather than engage them. If I observe some general traits among women I find negative and struggle with fainting relationships with them, then I must be some psycho. Well, that's why I told you, that's why I not told you, but that's why I said in that video on Thursday, I don't want to be part of any of these teams, because they lump, when you're affiliating with that group, they automatically think you have this problem because you're this person who treats women like sexual objects and just wants to have sex, even if you can go to the damn state that's right next to yours and get it for a certain price, meaning that you don't have to waste several months talking to one of these people to do it. But they don't care. They purposely put you as part of that group so they can justify why you don't end up with anyone. They can say, oh, he thinks this way. Yeah, the one I did a couple days ago, it got switched out for the other one I was going to do, the one about age, where they're like, you're only this age, and you shouldn't think this. So I'll do that one this week. I was just showing some of the goofy things people had written, including a certain message by the subject of this stream.
He's a coper. He can't have interests that are independent of women.
Jesus Christ. God forbid someone wants to do something else with their life besides get with the broad.
Megumi, if you don't talk about chicks all day, then whatever else you're doing is going to seed that topic into it, because what is compartmentalizing?
So dumb. Now, Slum Digger, I sat on that. I just said, We're gonna just sit here with this. We're gonna address it. They turn your passions or other interests into another form of coping. Yeah, and that's why I said it dehumanizes men, because you're not allowed to do anything. Like, people just try to play connect the dots on stuff that really is not that deep. But this is a big difference between me and a lot of these internet psychiatrists. Whenever I criticize one of these broads, or when I was criticizing that video, it stayed specifically to the things that were being stated. You didn't hear me say, he's making this video because of psychological issues stemming from it's like, because I'm not a psychologist. I don't know what goes on in these people's minds. I'm just going off of what they're stating. He even made that same mistake in his comment section. He's doing these videos because he's mad at me because of something else. Like, what something else would it be other than the stupid thing you said on my stream? I specifically said was the reason I'm mad at you for. Of obsession on their part, what they are implying is women are the focal point. Everything else is a cope. It's actually really sad. Yeah, I can't make my show because I enjoy making it or like the story. It's all to distract me from women. I said that's why they're projecting, because they want to make you seem like you're them, because that's all they think about every day. Broads, 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 broads. And if they see another man who's not doing that, it's crazy, or it can't be true. So I said in the video, we gotta be like the Borg from Star Trek. Have the hive mind, the collective. Like I said, everything talks about seems to be about romance. It's unhealthy. Well, listen, I've seen people who do full romance channels. I don't really have a problem with someone doing a specific topic. I just don't like the idea that, like, he clicked on a stream with with another topic's name on it, and then he gets mad that I'm talking about that topic. That's like me going into Baskin Robbins. I see the big sign on his front. Why are you guys selling ice cream? It's like they said it right outside. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. It's not like I clickbaited, like I had a stream where it was like a question mark. And then as the stream starts and he comes in the view when I'm talking, I'm like, riddle me this. What commentator made people upset this week in the news? And then he's like, oh no, here we go. Like, he clicked on it knowing it was about this subject. Like I said, I don't do clickbait. What you see is what you get. And he got mad at what he saw, even though he chose to click on what he saw, and said something that, in my opinion, was very demanding. Like he was my boss or something. And then didn't want to, I guess, deal with the aftermath of his own rhetoric. Like I said, I've never seen a sub say something like that to me. Get back to this topic. It's like, what the hell? But I'm in the wrong. I should have just went, well, let me let him speak to me any kind of way because of the super chat from over half a year ago. But let me not have a problem with was actually, with was said to me. Just let me be bent over. That makes a lot of sense. I've met and talked to quite a few guys like that. Can be a dangerous sort worth avoiding. I mean, look, well, that's my thing. I don't talk to these people outside of here. Ref says only a douchebag would do that. Well, I mean, look, I normally wouldn't like calling a sub names, but as far as I'm concerned, he called me a name when he said I was feminine for wanting an apology. So all hats are off. Talking about I poured gas on the fires. And yeah, who made a video about who? When they got mad on that person's stream. I really do want to figure out what's with this weird phenomenon with streams being the place where everybody loses their mind. I should have said my channel was made for kids and had the live chat disabled so you can just watch. Oh, careful, Slum Digger. I don't want you to do a video. I gave him $2 one time. And then he was controlling. Anyways, I appreciate it. No, Ruben, this isn't the live show. I'll do it later. I'm just sick of the people on this website. If you want to know what I'm talking about, I can DM you on Twitter. I'll send you the director's cut of this high quality video with all these excellent points that this user made on me. All the filler's been cut out of it. That was a really weird, like 2 minutes of him talking, then 9 minutes of clip of me, and then like what was it? Another like a minute of him talking again, and then that was bad. I've never seen fair use where somebody's talking about another person and they, like the majority of the video is the other person. Oh, like, imagine Slum Digger does a video. I gave him $2. I changed his life. He would have never been anything without that 120 cents I gave him. Because he mentioned in the video, and I'm like, how do you say I'm bringing up old stuff, but then you're mentioning something from last year? It's like this thing was a span of 2 weeks, and you get to bring up something from over half a year ago, and that's fair. And I'm the one who's, mentioning all these things and harping on non-contemporary ideas. Like, what? Oh my God. That $2 I gave him could have made his dreams come true. He wasted it. Yeah. It was all squandered. Probably has a superiority complex. Wouldn't put it past him considering how contradicting he is. I mean, I just, like, the stuff that was coming out of his mouth, and then it's like, I see why people sometimes do videos as opposed to commenting, because you can basically get the last word without actually getting it. I just think it's really disturbing that you make something like that where I can, and I don't pretend to be some genius, but I'll get one of those in like 2 hours, Elliot. Go grab a monster. No, but I don't pretend to be some genius. It's just the idea that, like with Slum Digger mentioning someone's bound to come after you, it's the fact that it's a sub who was on my channel for a year now pretending like I have all these issues. I've never done that to people that I leave the channels of. I don't click off and go, this person is crazy. He wasn't crazy last week. Hell, that's actually another thing. When I do videos on Jank, you don't see me say that he acts effeminate or what was another thing he said? He might be bipolar. I'm actually going to do a video on him later this week because of his comments, his little theory he has on why Joe Rogan will have him on the show. But you don't see me talk about him in the disrespectful way I was talked about there, because that's actually somebody I like. And people on here will turn on you at the drop of a hat. Someday, if you don't believe me, I can I don't know where I would even be able to send this to you. I've got the screenshot 8 days before this video was made. You're one of my favorite YouTubers. What happened to that one? So was he lying in that screenshot, or was he lying when he made this video? How do you undergo character development that damn fast? Your position just like a whole 360 turn. I'm very confused. I don't know how you change on someone that quickly. Tough, angry love. Well, I've been angry at people that I like or love or whatever. I don't call them bipolar because they're saying the same thing, which theoretically is the opposite of being bipolar. It's like they just throw words out there they don't even know anymore. Also, Slum Digger, I'm gonna come on your stream when you're talking about computers and mention Starbucks, and then you'll be weird for not understanding why I came to a stream about computers and talked about coffee. I was worried about Rev. He hadn't shown up. I hadn't seen him in like 2 or 3 days. I thought he got abducted. Yeah, like, but he tried to frame that as being this really defective character flaw, character. Oh, I'm sorry, character flaw of mine. When like, why would what? Why would I be like understand that reference? What does that have to do with what was being discussed? If it's literally entirely off topic. Yes, Megumi, he has been on here since at least June of last year. But again, I'm the person who deals with things that he's trying to get away with as he was on here for a year. Okay. That's fine. You can talk to whoever you want to. I just hope that that other person doesn't come back again with the Nami picture. Like, you really think we're stupid enough to think that's him? When you change the name and the picture. I've never seen this person before. This is America. Many people are mentally unstable. Some people are best to avoid. Yeah, but I expect people online to act crazy. It's just the idea that someone who subbed to you for a year turns on you that quickly. Like, he became a villain faster than Goku did when he got his body swapped by Zamasu. Jesus, it was really quick. Like, if you read the stuff he wrote at the start of the month before that upload came out, you would think it's 2 different people. Talk about I made him do this. Like, most people, when they leave a channel, they don't make videos on the people that they stop watching. I've unsubbed from at least I'd say 5, 6 people since last year, like September, October. Guess how many videos I've made on those several different people? None. I even had the one guy I mentioned earlier. I can play the clip of him cursing me out on his stream, and I didn't once think about making a video on it. I mean, you were over there trying to empathize with the villain, so are you calling him the hero and me the villain, or whatever? The way that video was formatted, you were talking about character flaws. You would think I was some anime villain. When Justin's plan didn't work, he exhibited this horrible trait that made it lead to his downfall. But you just said every hero needs a villain, so you could just whatever. No one said you had to choose a side. Oh my God, it's like I'm speaking Chinese. Is my audio gargled? Am I not being audible? The point was, if you don't want to take sides, just don't say something like a hero and a villain, because that infers you see one side as heroic, one side as villainous. We already know that he's part of the heroes because the romance crew is dominating. I remember what Joker said in the new Batman Adventures. If you have to explain a joke, there is no joke. I wouldn't consider him a villain. I just am very disturbed by what he did. Remember, you can't sit back or people will start leaving. Oh, yeah, I forgot we went down by 2 people. I see your comment. I'm not. No, that person that came in here with the Nami picture, they tried to pretend they were him. It's like, you really think we're stupid enough to think that's the same person? You couldn't even get the same picture. You saw they left real quick too. They're like, oh, this isn't working. we retreat. No, I love the mind control comments. He's like, you know, he he sounded like he heard me in his mind. How would you know what I was hearing? Imagine his next video. He's like actually trying to be Professor X. Like you hear the X-Men theme song, and you see him like doing this. And something is wrong with the people on this website. But I do understand now why those bigger channels don't read their comments. Like why they only read super chats. Because who wants to put up with that? I remember there was a guy who has, is he banned now, by the way? No. Megumi, I don't know. All I say is I didn't go out of my way to look for it. I literally just typed my name and I was like, oh, there it is. I mean, what's the point of banning him if he's got 2 other accounts to come back on? Like he has the same thing that Sam Dub has. Where there's so many of them, you just say the hell with all of them. I should have listened to my mod when they got rid of him. I was like, no, come on. Whatever he said must not have been that bad. Oh, they were right. I didn't listen. There's a guy who has 600,000 subs, and he did a stream. What do you call it? About maybe I'd say it was like 4 or 5 months ago. And while he was streaming, this other person did a commentary over it. And he was like basically pointing out how every time people don't donate, the guy just lets the chat just breeze by. And he like, because of that and the fact that he's not actively stating new information, it makes the stream really boring. Where he just kind of is sitting there and he's like, so I'm just reading your comments. It's like, well, dingbat, read them aloud. Oh, wait, we forgot. They don't have a coin attached at the end of them. Gumi says that is true, actually. People can just keep recreating accounts to troll. Yeah, it kind of gets pointless when they make those like, all right, well, we might as well just stop. There's never been a person who got rid of me on here where I felt the need to make another account. Just saying. But yeah, I don't deal in the same way a lot of these other people do. So it makes a lot of sense that they would act the way that they do, or act differently from me because they like drama, they like having problems with people, they like starting issues, and it's just God. I'll try looking for it too. Let's look. What's the name of that thing? Dustin is an anime villain. Oh my god. I can't believe it. He actually unlisted it. Who would have thought? That certainly wasn't the case when I saw it a few days ago. I hope he hasn't been looking at any of my new content recently. Because remember, he said he wouldn't. I hope he hasn't been checking any of it out. That sure would be against what he stated he would do, which is not come back here. I want to take him at his word. I'm going to trust that he did that by pure coincidence. Where did Ruben go? He really showed up to say, why so early, and then goodbye. He took his retreat. Yeah, that's what I just saw. He's probably watching right now. Hi. You can speak. You're not banned on any of your like 80 accounts. You know, I probably should. Oh, Ruben, did you get to hear that masterpiece? I played the abridged version because I didn't feel like hearing my own voice for, 11. By the way, Ruben, isn't that copyright infringement if you play someone else's thing for most of the video? Like, can't you, actually get in trouble for that with the person? Wait until this guy analyzes you even more. And then Slum Digger's going to say, he made another video. I'm going to say, oh, a sequel? I could have sworn they said if it's not at least 60% of the overall video, you can get it removed. Because I went through and counted. The video is 21 minutes long. 11 minutes is me speaking. 8 minutes is him talking. But his commentary is not the majority of it. Well, it's like if he responds to it, that just proves that he just wants to keep this going. Because like you make a video about a person, they made a video about you, and then they respond, and you can just so. Oh, don't use my alias. Remember, he doesn't care as he made a 20+ minute video to show that he doesn't care. I wouldn't have made the yeah, most people, Slum Digger, I have banned over 200 people. None of them ever made a video. The one person I unbanned after one of my mods banned him makes a video. If that isn't just the textbook example of the phrase "no good deed goes unpunished," I don't know what is. I'm never gonna unban anyone ever again. When you get banned, that's it. We're gonna put out the Infinity Gauntlet. I don't care, but let me waste my time making a video to cry about someone calling me out, but I don't care. This person is bipolar, which, if you know anything about the word, actually means someone who exhibits multiple different personalities while being consistent in stating that they're upset with me over something. Yeah, the video is 20 minutes, but 11 of it is me speaking. That's why I was trying to figure out if this was actually something that could be taken down. Like, I'm not going to mess with it because I'm not evil, but just saying, that's not how copyright works on here. Oh, James, I should finish 43 by maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. So editing a video can take at least 2 hours. Yeah. So he put even more, and remember, he grabbed clips from multiple streams. So it wasn't just something that he went home and, snapped his fingers and it was done. He spent a considerable amount of time to put that together. It's like you put all that effort into attacking a person who, at their worst, accused you of trying to control and then asked for an apology. I didn't call him out of his name. Even in this, the only thing I've done is not say his name. I didn't say that he exhibited feminine traits or had psychological, because I'm not doing any of that nonsense. Why can't people do regular critiques? I've done critiques of Jank. Who else? I was gonna do one of Kyle, but I changed my mind. Point is, when I talk about some other commentator, I specifically talk about why what they're saying I believe is incorrect. You don't see me say this person is exhibiting feminine traits and they're bipolar. And I don't want to be around someone like them. It just gets even more ridiculous the more we discuss it. Well, hell, it was ridiculous when I was watching that. No, there will be no lie. I don't remember. He wants to stay away from someone like me, so I hope he does. I hope he honors his new pact, his pledge, his promise, his claim. Hey, Bader, do you want to speak after this? Because I'm pretty much almost done wrapping this up. I didn't expect to do the preamble that quick. And again, I'm still trying to do the live show later. So I think we're pretty much done here. He's telling you have feminine traits, but he makes a 20-minute video about you complaining. Yeah, the person who ignores someone is acting feminine, but the person who makes a 20-minute video isn't being feminine. The person who claims it's not a big deal and that I'm defensive makes a video defending themselves. Why can't people just inherit your way of just leaving people alone if they don't like them? Yeah, it's because they have to have the last word, and they have to make it. Because I've said before, he saw it was irrelevant. I would agree with him, but then it's like, why are you doing a video on me? Oh my God, what the hell is that? This person is irrelevant. Let me talk about them for half an hour. It all started with this goof going out of his way to tell you he didn't want to watch a video. In a video he didn't want to watch. Yeah, he came on a stream responded to the title, meaning he knew what the title was when he came in. I didn't have the question mark and go, what are we discussing today? Oh, that'll be funny, Ruben. I can't wait to see that. Please do. And I hope when you do your video, you don't accuse me of exhibiting feminine traits just because I said something you don't like. I'm going to start doing it every time somebody says something I don't like. I'm going to do a 20-minute video and say, this person is feminine. And they exhibit character traits that I don't want to be around as I sell on the channel for a year. And yeah. Every video is just going to be me slandering somebody. Yes, he knew what he was watching. He came to a stream with a title that he responded to. He's like, why are you talking about this? I scammed you out of $2 as you willfully donated. Are you going to make me sound like somebody else that people accuse of scamming? Oh, don't start with that, Rev. MFC. Yeah, for a year. So I said people, and then 2 weeks of me saying something he doesn't like. Now I've got all these characters going to flop. Man. This is a cartoon. Yeah. He knew the score. He knew that I did political stuff, some romance stuff, and then more recently I'm trying to do more drag. I mean he knew the thing and then he still acted that way. Yeah, the people on here, they just that video was so creepy. Oh my god. I gotta make sure I burn my copy of it. I may have the premium edition, but I'm gonna get rid of it or at least sell it somewhere. I hope when I develop some kind of convenient amnesia and forget that I watched that. Well, I already told you I got the director's cut with with the abridged version where I cut out all the filler of me speaking. That's when I played. I don't know what Megumi's laughing at. Bader, do you want a VC after this? Because I'm pretty much done here. I'm still trying to do the VC later. Not the VC, the stream later today. Drama will always be here when you're online. Yeah, but it's drama that's caused by me interacting with my own chat. This isn't me going to some random website and then I just magically decide to like I get followed from there to one place. Like it's literally just you interact with your chat, you do a video someone doesn't like, and then when they respond a certain way, you ask them to apologize and you hold them to it. They do a video on you saying that you're suddenly exhibiting these character flaws. Like, well, hell, I didn't have them before. They just developed overnight. I gained this new hideous transformation. When people show you who they really are, but you saw who I really was for a year, that's why you were sub for that damn long. Anyways, I'm gonna go out of my way to ignore more messages in the chat because people turn on people too quickly on here. I've tried to be nice, and like I said, I don't bother anybody. I don't. All of this stuff happens because I put up content. I don't leave any messages in anyone's comment section harassing them. I just wish I would get the same luxury, but unfortunately, the internet is not a fair place. That's why we have women who can make thousands of dollars posing with these, but then if you actually speak about something important, you get tossed aside. Or if you do get attention, it's from people who are trying to defame you, like that video I played earlier. So thanks for watching. I'll see if I can do a live show later today. So see ya.